Redneck Muck, peace. Got Elvira here at the lift. Not planning on picking her up, but she's here. So what I'm going to do today is change the valve covers. Boop. And rocker arms under the valve covers to 1.6 ratio rockers. So I'm going to get you guys set up so you can see while I'm working and do some talking. I'll try to talk loud because I'm not going to use my mic because it's being a turd. I don't know what the problem is, other than, you know, I use cheap stuff because I'd rather put money in my car. My car is filthy. Look at that big old handprint on the bumper. Bird poop, but I drive her, so I don't worry about that too much. But I got some grease through here where I've been working on stuff, so. But yeah, so valve covers. That's what's coming up next. I need to put the baffles in, and we can do valve covers. So give me a second, and we'll do baffles. All right, so I like to use tube Loctite because it doesn't seem to dry out on me. What do you stick Loctite? I guess the tube I tend to waste more of it than I use because it's not something I use all the time. So I'm going to go ahead and put baffles in the bottom of both of them. It will slow the oil fill, but it will make sure I don't have any oil blow out my breather, because one of these is going to have a breather cap and one of them's going to have the PCV, positive crankcase ventilation is what it stands for. You know, when you do a little bit of everything like I do, you can get that stuff confused because, you know, PCV and PVC, two completely different things. Polyvinyl something or other, right? That's what PVC is. Positive crankcase ventilation. Boom. Alright. I'm a little nervous about these guys because they are self-tappers. Do I use the drill? Do I use the screwdriver? I'm not so sure. We will learn together. Valve covers I've ever owned in my life. I'm trying to decide which screwdriver works better than these screws. Go. One baffle installed. See that guy? Let me get closer. There's two screws. That would be the inside of the baffle. Outside. So just got slots and holes in it and gaps. So air can pass, but oil should stay in your engine where you need it. I've decided against painting with anything. All right, I got this dude up on top dead center number one. It's showing up right here on the harmonic balance. Maybe. I think I got it in the wrong spot. I need to go move. All right, so I was going to pull a plug and get it up on top dead center. I got the valve covers off. I cleaned the gaskets off, all that good stuff. So if you look, this is your exhaust. See, it's lining up. This is your intake. Okay, so just so happens my intake looks like it's on its way down, I believe. So if you roll the engine over, see the intake going down. Okay. Okay, there's the intake wide open. Now the intake will start coming up. Now the next time you see the line on the harmonic balance, that's going to be top dead center of your power stroke. Ow. Here it comes. Line up my 0. Doesn't have to be exactly 0, but so okay, here's your play. See that? This one's down. This one's up. Down, up. So anyway, that's your play right there. So these dudes are ready to remove. So we just take these guys off. I could use a little power tool to take them off, but I'm an old school guy. So anyway, so what you're going to do is you're going to take them off, you're going to put your new ones on, and then you got to set your valve latch. So before I get into that, you might say, Muck, why are you putting 1/6 roller rockers on? So the factory rocker on this, fulcrum style, no roller, creates friction. Roller in its own frees up some horsepower. Then the factory on this is 1/5 rockers. So I got 1/6 roller rockers. So that won't change the duration of my cam or the lift on my cam, but that'll change my final lift at the valve. So this exhaust that I just took off with a 1/5 has a 0.410 valve lift. So not a half an inch would be 0.5, so 0.410 valve lift. With the 1/6 roller rocker, because the fulcrum points are different, you're going to have a 0.438 valve lift. So I gained some lift, and that lift is going to not just translate in the peak, but all the way through the rotation of that cam. So when the cam's, halfway lifted, it's up, starting up on a lobe, the valve will be open further with the 1/6s than it was with the 1/5s. Now the valve won't be open any longer, won't be closed any longer. The duration between the two, what do they call that? The lobe separation is not going to change. Nothing else will change, just my lift. So that will translate into a little better flow on the heads. So more lift equals more flow. Exhaust, intake. Push tubes. Okay, rocker studs. So this is a roller tip rocker, 1.6. So this dude works the same way the other one does. Put his little piece down there and make sure he's in his. Make sure that the tube is in the hole of the rocker, and you're good. So now we've got to get to 0 lash. So the way we get to 0 lash is a little bit of a pain when your motor's together, but we can do it. So you've got to first get this guy down where he's about bottomed out. Not bottomed out, but where the bolt's meeting the washer. I'm getting closer, so. Okay, so we're fairly close where we need to be. See, I just got too tight on that. Okay, so I got to back him back off. There we go. I think this guy's about the same spot. So what you're going to do now is you got to reach around, which is why it's not easy to do, and you spin the tube. So you're spinning your lifter tube, and you spinning until you get some drag. Okay, right there's my drag. So, okay, got my drag. Now, you're gonna wanna go a half a turn. So I'm gonna go a quarter, back up, I'm gonna go a quarter. That's my half. This dude is set. Okay, now this dude. Okay, right there. It's just a little tight. That's a little loose. Okay, right there. So there's my 0 lash. I'm gonna go a quarter. And that'll be a half. These guys are set. They shouldn't rattle. They shouldn't need further adjustment. They should be good. So that is how you set them up. So I guess that's about all I've got on explanation wise at the moment. I hope you understand. Let me write this down real quick. It's all right. Sorry about my horrible handwriting, but so the current cam is stock. It's got a 195 duration on the intake at 050, 202 at 050 on exhaust. Split duration cams tend to split on the exhaust side because the exhaust doesn't flow as good as the intake. So the longer you can keep your exhaust open, then you can kind of compensate for it not doing as well as the intake. So, and then my current lift on the intake is 390. It's going to go to 416. My current lift on exhaust is 410. It's going to go to 438. So, guys, on high speed, hanging over the top, and I'm going to rotate to number 8. I'm going to follow the firing order, 18436572. So you'll rotate the engine a quarter turn. You should be at top dead center number 8. You go over to number 8, check your rockers. If they've got some play, then you're good to go. and swap those dudes out. You rotate it another quarter, and you're on number 4. 1, 8, 4, 3. So every quarter, you're on a different motor or different cylinder, and so you'll turn the engine over 2 full revolutions because it's a 4-stroke engine. So anyway, so yeah, there we go. I think I'm good. Right? Boom, boom. Yeah. All right. Let's get you set up, and we will get all these dudes done. Okay, so all installed, all set up. I don't know if you noticed, but I dropped some oil on them. It'd been nice to have some assembly lube to put on them, but I didn't have any, so, you know, just drop some oil on them. It'll take, split second for this thing to get oil up to the top and start slinging it everywhere. And I hate to, but I'd really like to give it a crank. It'll probably fire. It's not gonna run but a second, and shut it off, and then hand rotate and double check all of my rockers and make sure they feel good. So as long as they feel okay, then I'll leave them alone from there, and then I can put the valve covers on. So want to start a motor? Do you? It's always the worst part, but shouldn't have any trouble. It felt really good turning it over. I think the push tubes have plenty of clearance. It's not a problem. Everything felt really good, so I think everything went well. Knock on wood, and we'll fire it up. It's in the hot seat. Shouldn't take much to fire because I ran it a second this morning. Wrong, but I like the way that it did that. I like just crank it over. How much oil I threw out? Throw out much? Throw out much? really pretty good. And that dude is up there where he should be. Feels okay. I don't want to put any RPM on it because it will swing everywhere. But I think I'm going to start it again just for a second so I can listen. Okay, I don't hear anything rattling, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to roll it over by hand and check everybody and make sure if I feel one and I think, hey, you're too tight and you're where you're up on your top dead center, then I'm going to back him off and reset him. But that should have let everybody settle down, and I'll make sure none are too loose. It didn't sound like anything was loose, so yeah, I think we're in pretty good shape. So everything felt good. So I think I'm in good shape. I'll get my valve cover gaskets and valve covers put on. I don't reckon you guys need to watch that, but I'll get those put on, and then we'll be ready to run. Minus my grommets are big for my breather and my PVC valve, PCV valve. So I have to run to town to see if I can get something for that. So probably when you come back, we should be ready for a little test drive and see what she sounds like. It's not noisy. Everything feels okay. Everything looks pretty good. I think it's about time for a test drive. But I got burgers on the grill, so I get burgers off the grill, test drive, and then probably not tomorrow, but this week I need to clean her up. I mean, this is ridiculous, man. She's filthy, but I've been working on her, and I just hate to clean it up when I'm working on it because I know I'm just gonna get it dirty again. So anyway, yeah. It makes me smile. Nothing's come apart yet. All right. You can see I backed her out of the garage. I was told I had to mow grass before I could play with my car anymore. So grass has been mowed. I was trying to figure out why she was stumbling so bad when I was trying to run her with the valve covers off. And I realized that I had a huge vacuum leak because where the PCV valve goes. Gosh, I'll get that right when I, never. But anyway, so yeah, we'll take her for a little drive and see how she does. We gotta put chickens up. Out of the way, Harriet. Wasn't Harriet, I can't remember her name. Harriet was my first litter. But anyway, so yeah. easy for a minute, and we'll run her hard for a minute, and, you know, see how she does. Sounds okay. From the wind whistling that I need some door seals and stuff, but it's not high on my priority list. I'll let her slow down just a little bit to let her kick down. Felt pretty decent. Ran RPM. Yeah, she's about ready for a 0-60 test once she gets warmed up. She had a little bog right there at first, but she's still cold, so, you know, she's only about 140 degrees right now. So yeah, we're getting there, buddy. We're getting there. This will probably be my last performance upgrade on her for a while. I got another thing I need to do to her. Which is, they come out with these things called hog troughs underneath them, just kind of a reinforcement to help the fiberglass, and they rust away. So I'm going to make something. I'm not going to spend a bunch of money to replace them. I'm going to make something. So anyway, that'll probably end up another video. Yeah, all right. I'll bring you back after I get some 0-60, because I can't do filming and 0-60. So we'll see how it goes. Well, I could smell it before I could see it, but so my valve cover gasket is leaking right there in the middle somewhere. It's not surprising. This side was kind of a pain to get in, and I did bump it around a little bit, so I got it bumped back too far. As bad as the old ones were leaking, this one leaked worse. So yeah, let me let it cool down, and round 2, 3, 4, I don't know, round. So just as I suspected, it slid off. You got like a round edge, and I don't know if I can save this gasket or not. We'll find out. So I've got something going on. I'm not exactly sure what's up, but so out of the hole I'm having a lot of traction issues, so that makes me say, you know, I've gained torque, but about 40 mile an hour or so, 45, she starts cutting out, like she's running out of gas. So I may just be due for another filter. You know, I don't remember when I done the last one, but I thought I was getting pretty good on these things and not having to have so many filters, but I might have broke some more stuff loose and going again. But I did have some line issues the other day and a leak and all that kind of stuff, so I fixed that. Maybe that broke something else loose, but yeah. So I'll just have to go at it again, and after I get some real world results, I'll post them. So anyway, I guess that's it. Right then, Buck. Peace.